What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Have you guys ever just been scrolling through TV and a certain channel just pops out at you? And if not TV, maybe something like YouTube helped you along this way. Liquid television was that show for me. Back in high school, liquid television intrigued me a lot. I was and still am really big into 90s era stuff. I may have been born late into them, but the 90s just fascinates me. So of course a show like liquid television would catch my attention. Unfortunately, liquid television really isn't on anything, so I had to resort to YouTube, and thankfully there was some guy who made a liquid television channel to where I was able to watch all of these. Liquid television first aired on June 2nd, 1991, and the whole point of the program was that it was an animation showcase, and the material created for it was made by independent animators specifically for liquid television. The show is full of one-off shorts, reoccurring shows, full-blown animation, or sometimes a hybrid of the two, or sometimes outright live action with a cartoony style. But before we dive into any of that, I do want to say before we start that all these shows that we will be seeing here are very unique and really dive into the fact that this is a 90s show. It's very of the era, and if you ever heard of a phrase like, "that's so 90s," well, I personally can't think of a better way to describe this TV show. Now, before properly diving into the show, I feel like there's only one true way to experience liquid television. And I think I actually might have an idea of how we can do that. Just give me a minute. Comfy? That's a lot better and a lot more appropriate for what we're going to talk about today, don't you agree? Before all the modern technology and phones and stuff, this is most likely how people experience liquid television for the first time. Or it's at least how they remember it. And I can't think of a better way to experience it than sitting in a nice comfy chair in front of a CRT, just ready to have a good time. Now, in the original run of liquid television, there were 3 seasons, airing from 1991 to 1995. And while I won't be discussing everything in this video, I will be discussing shows or segments that I found interesting or cool, or just ones that I want to talk about and did write about. So if there's a show or a segment that you remember liquid television from that I did not talk about in this video, chances are I am aware of it. I just didn't feel it was necessary to bring up because liquid television has so many animated segments. It'd be kind of impossible, and we'll be here for at least 2 days talking about everything that there is to go into liquid television. Something to know is how they released the show and how many episodes a season got. Season 1 only got 6 episodes, and this is something you can expect from a first season of a show. Season 2 got 10 episodes. Now, this is also something you can expect. Season 1 did so well, season 2 would get a bigger budget, more episodes to boot, even if it is only 4 more. However, when they released season 3, and season 3 is probably the strangest of all, they added 6 more episodes. I think it's just weird that season 2 had 10 episodes and season 3 only has 6. I don't know if the show's popularity was falling off by season 3, but it was something worth noting that I figured I would. Well, anyway, I am tired of beating around the bush, so why don't we sit back, grab our remotes, and enjoy some liquid television, starting with season 1.
Jump, 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 jump.
Oh, liquid television. Oh.
Invisible Hands is all about a psychic detective on one of his cases that leads him all the way to a secret society of one-handed killers. I really didn't care for this one. Sure, it can be funny at times, but I can't get over the art style. Like, look at this. And yes, I'm a big stickler for art styles. Stick Figure Theater, another show airing on season 1. It's a stick figure style animation based on popular movies of the time. While the movies are lost on me so I don't get the references, the animation is still good and keeps the show engaging and catches my attention. I like it.
The Art School Girls of Doom. the art school girls of doom. It's actually a bit weird to talk about this today, but just know that this was the 1990s, and that was a different time. It's about two transgender people that parade through their lives with love, fun, and fashion, as was the era of the time. And I didn't really like it. Not because of the transgender part, but because it's just boring and it sucks. Honestly, I just don't like the concept, and none of the jokes really landed for me. Winter Steel. Alright, talking about something that did land for me. This was a weird puppet show about a biker chick of the same name, Winter Steel, and her journey to find her long-lost love, Crow. I actually really liked this show. It was one of the ones I kept waiting for. I always wanted to see what happened next. I'm just gonna go on the record right now and say, I fucking love Dog Boy. I always got really pumped for when it came on. It's a live action show with a comic book style. It's about this guy who works at a diner and ends up needing to get heart surgery. However, a doctor says getting a real heart would be too expensive, so the doctor suggests on getting a dog heart, and the main character does. So with the heart of a dog, he starts to become more dog-like, and he has to cope and get by everyday life as a dog human. Dog Boy. The concept is just so bizarre that I just fell in love with its stupidity. Truly, a show of its time. Someone actually compiled it all together on YouTube, and I recommend giving it a watch. Putting it all together, it's like about 10 to 15 minutes, so like a normal episode. I recommend it. Oh, speaking of another really great show, The Specialist. I love The Specialist as well. The Specialists are a bunch of detectives working job to job. In one job, they're tasked to look for a cat, but then that leads to all kinds of crazy shit. Like going to the antimatter world, for example. Again, I think someone compiled this on YouTube, so I would 100% give it a watch. I'd recommend it. The Adventures of Thomas and Nardo. I actually didn't really like this show a whole lot. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Every time it came on, I just felt so bored and I would groan. Now I have to say that the animation here is actually really ambitious, and I do give it credit and I do respect it for that. I just didn't really like it. I don't like the way it looks. It's all about this guy whose house is the best friend and all the crazy adventures they go on. Look, for me, at worst, it's horrible. I don't want to watch it, and at best, it's just okay. Some shows in Season 1 must have been popular because they came back for a second run on Season 2. Now in this case, we only have two shows, that being Stick Figure Theater and Winter Steel. Stick Figure Theater is a whole bunch of new episodes with a bunch of random skits, while Winter Steel continues the plot that it has been going in Season 1. It's cool to see these back in Season 2, and I look forward to seeing them in Season 3. Also some notable shows on this season were Speed Bump the Roadkill Possum, which kinda reminds me of those old PSP commercials, Dr. Zoom, and Bobby and Billy. These shows right here were all good, but I really don't have much to say about them.
Now, a lot of animators who animated for Liquid Television actually got featured shows from other networks from here first airing on Liquid Television. One of these being Beavis and Butthead with Frog Baseball, and the other one being Aeon Flux. Now, Aeon Flux would spawn an animated TV show, a live-action movie, and even a tie-in video game of the same name. But here's the thing. When researching Liquid Television and watching all that I could of Liquid Television, I could not find Aeon Flux anywhere online. I have searched all over YouTube, I have searched all over Google, and what I can find are little snippets here and there on YouTube, but I can't find any full Aeon Flux episodes. You think something as big as Aeon Flux would be easy to find on YouTube, but it's actually not, and I have no idea why. The way I've been watching these videos is actually through a YouTube channel under the same name, Liquid Television MTV, or MTV's Liquid Television. And you can see that a lot of episodes are shorter than others, and I'm assuming that's because the guy who made this had to cut some out because of copyright issues. So not only does that mean some animated segments and shows are gone, but that means more than half of Beavis and Butthead are not showing, and all of Aeon Flux is nowhere to be seen. I bet you noticed I went through all of Season 1 and Season 2 without bringing up Aeon Flux, and you're probably thinking that I forgot about one of the biggest shows Liquid Television has to offer. No, I didn't forget, I just can't find anything about it. Maybe one day I'll hunt down the movie and the video game and I'll give that a shot, but right now, I have no knowledge on Aeon Flux. But however, with all that being said, Season 2 is probably my most favorite season out of the entire show's run. So here we are, we've made it to the final season of Liquid Television in its original run. In fact, it's actually the season that I first started on. Yeah, this is the season that I started back in high school that I just randomly came across. And like I said earlier, once you get to Season 3, it's here where you'll notice that Season 3 only has 6 episodes like Season 1 did. Now it's really strange to me that Season 3 only got 6 episodes to its name. Now I don't know if it's because this was the last season of the show, if the channel was getting poor ratings when Season 3 was coming on, or if the last season didn't do as well as Season 1 and they wanted to cut ties and just make a Season 3 to end it all. I don't really know.
Good evening, citizens of Earth. Citizens of Earth origin or any other planet in the solar system.
So Season 3 is actually very weird because the only show returning here from the catalog that was Liquid Television is Stick Figure Theater. No Aeon Flux, no Winter Steel, no Dog Boy, nothing. Normally they bring a couple shows back, but here they only brought back one, Stick Figure Theater. But instead of random skits throughout the season, this show continues on like previous shows with a consecutive and consistent story. Now that's mentionable here because like I said, Stick Figure Theater was full of one-off skits. However, they opt out to tell a stick figure version of the movie The Naked Edge. I've never seen it, but from what I can see, it's an old black and white movie that I really have no interest in. But seeing how the stick figure is animated here, it kinda made it appealing. Maybe I will go back and watch it, I don't know. Now this animated segment really holds a special place in my heart because Crazy Daisy Ed was the very first show that I actually saw on Liquid Television. It's about a sunflower dealing with everyday life problems, dealing with the cops, landlords, or rude cashiers. Now in my head, I was really hyped to go back and watch this show again. I remember it being really good and I was really excited to show my friend who I was watching this with at the time. So did I like it? While I love the charm of the show, it's not as great as I remember it being, unfortunately. The animation is still pretty unique while being a little on the rough side, but however, I find that adds tons of charm to the show itself. Overall, I would say I like this, but go in with caution, it's not as great as I remember it being.
The Blockheads, starring Blanche and Blaine Blockhead.
Blockheads. Now this show is just fucking weird. It's all about these two characters getting into stupid shit. It's a mix of animation with these real faces and it looks just creepy as hell. But also it's part of that early 90s CGI animation, so it's like really endearing at the same time. I don't really got much to say for this. It's just one of those shows that was really notable and memorable to me, so here I am talking about it.
It's the Smart Talk with Raisin show in Pulling a Malad Out of the Hat, starring Raisin.
Now, I don't really have a lot to say about Smart Talk with Raisin, other than it's just weirdly animated and it's trippy as hell. But this animated short was written and created by a John R. Dilworth. Who is that? And why is this relative? Well, does this character look familiar to you? Oh, he does. Well, that's because it's Courage. Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I mean, it's not. It's a prototype version of him. Now, this blew me away seeing this. Not only did Courage get his start in Liquid Television, but it's also just a really cool piece of animation history.
Now, it's also here where the episodes start to get a little, well, sporadic in the release date when it comes to Season 3. For the most part, they have been weekly, but toward the end, they start taking up to months to come out. Like, what the hell happened in all that time? Why did it take so long to get a single episode out, something you've been doing weekly at this point? For having only 6 episodes, it took a long time to get this season done. Season 3 started on December 31st, 1993, and wouldn't wrap up or release its last episode until January 1st, 1995. That's more than a year for only 6 episodes. Now, I couldn't find any reason why Season 3 was aired like this, but for a year to take to get 6 episodes out when you've been releasing it weekly prior is a little strange. My only real guess is that season 3 just got stuck in development hell and it prevented it from coming out a lot sooner than what it was supposed to. There are some notable moments here in season 3, but I don't know, it just didn't feel as good as season 2 or season 1 felt. Somewhere along the line, it just felt like there wasn't enough care being put into this season, and I don't know if that's evident in the way you watch the animations. Don't get me wrong, the animations here are still great and some are even impressive for the time, but I don't know, a lot of this just felt pretty meh. Season 2 will always be my favorite out of these 3 seasons, but season 3 was the season that I started on, so it does have a little bit of nostalgia for me, but now that I've seen the other 2 seasons prior to this, I just can't help but say that it doesn't stack up to them too. Now, there is way more to this show than what I just brought up here in this video. What I brought up in this video is just stuff that I thought was cool, but I strongly recommend you going out of your way to watch Liquid Television. It's on YouTube. Practically just all of it is there pretty much free. A good 85% of Liquid Television is there. It's pretty good. You should give it a shot.
I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter, and you can go follow me. Both of those will be in the description down below. Also, can we try to get this video up to 10 likes? That'll be much appreciated. And also, while you're down there, can I get you to hit that subscribe button and the bell for post notifications? It takes like a second, and it would mean a lot to me. And I also wouldn't want you to miss a single video of mine. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me. Take care.